The digital world is a dangerous place. We build firewalls and antivirus software to protect ourselves, but what about the weakest link? What about us?
Hackers are getting smarter. They're realizing that it's easier to exploit human nature than it is to break through lines of code. This is social engineering. It's the art of manipulating people into giving up information they shouldn't. They're master manipulators, using psychology and deception to get what they want.
Gone are the days of hackers being stereotyped as hooded figures in dark rooms. Today's social engineers are often charming, persuasive, and incredibly good at blending in.
They could be anyone, a friendly voice on the phone, a helpful colleague, or even someone you think you know online. These individuals understand that the human element is often the path of least resistance. The consequences of falling victim to social engineering can be devastating. From identity theft and financial loss to corporate espionage and large-scale data breaches, the stakes are higher than ever.
Social engineering isn't about brute-forcing systems or exploiting software vulnerabilities. It's about understanding and manipulating the human element of security.
Think of it as a psychological game, where the hacker is the player and we, the everyday users, are the unwitting participants. This game relies on our inherent human tendencies, our desire to trust, our willingness to help, and our susceptibility to authority. They understand that people are more likely to comply with a request if it comes from someone they perceive as an authority figure, or if it plays on their emotions like fear or urgency.
One of the key elements of social engineering is deception. Hackers create elaborate facades pretending to be someone they're not to gain our trust.
They might impersonate a coworker, a tech support agent, or even a government official, using convincing language and stolen credentials to make their story seem legitimate. A social engineer might claim to have a locked account, a lost password, or a technical issue, all the while using our willingness to help against us.
They might also exploit our fear of negative consequences. A common tactic is to create a sense of urgency, claiming that immediate action is required to avoid a security breach, a financial loss, or some other undesirable outcome.
Social engineers are keen observers of human behavior, and they use this knowledge to exploit our weaknesses. They understand that people are creatures of habit, often taking shortcuts or overlooking security protocols for the sake of convenience. They might create a fake contest or giveaway, using the brand's logo and language to make it seem legitimate, knowing that the victim is more likely to fall for it because it aligns with their interests.
They might also exploit our natural tendency to trust those within our social circles. A hacker might compromise the account of one of our friends or family members, using that connection to send us malicious links or requests for information.
Social engineering is, at its core, a form of manipulation. Hackers use psychological tactics to influence our behavior, often without us even realizing we're being manipulated. They might also use techniques like mirroring, where they subtly mimic our language and behavior to build rapport and create a sense of trust. Or they might employ scarcity tactics, creating a false sense of urgency by claiming that an offer is limited or that time is running out.
By understanding how these tactics work, we can learn to recognize the signs of manipulation and avoid falling victim to these social engineering schemes.
Every successful con starts with research, and social engineering is no different. Hackers understand that knowledge is power, and they'll invest significant time and effort into gathering information about their targets. They scour social media profiles, online forums, and even company websites, looking for any scrap of information that could be useful. This could include details about your job title, your hobbies, your friends and family, even your pet's name.
Hackers might also dig through your trash, a practice known as dumpster diving, to uncover discarded documents containing personal or sensitive information.
Once a social engineer has gathered enough intelligence, they move on to target selection. This isn't a random process. Hackers carefully analyze the information they've collected to identify individuals who are most likely to fall for their schemes. They look for easy targets, people who might be more susceptible to manipulation or who have access to the information they're after.
New employees, for instance, are often prime targets. They're still learning the ropes, unfamiliar with company security protocols, and eager to please.
With a target in sight, the social engineer shifts their focus to building trust. They understand that people are more likely to comply with requests from individuals they know and like. This phase is all about creating a connection, however superficial. to lower the victim's guard and make them more receptive to manipulation.
They might engage in friendly conversations, feigning interest in your hobbies, family, or work.
The goal is to establish a rapport, however artificial, that makes you feel comfortable and more inclined to trust them.
This trust-building process can take time, with hackers patiently nurturing the relationship over days, weeks, or even months.
The final stage of a social engineering attack is the exploit, where the hacker leverages the trust they've built to achieve their objective. This could involve tricking you into revealing your password, clicking on a malicious link, downloading a harmful file, or even transferring money to a fraudulent account. The specific tactic used will depend on the hacker's goals and the information they've gathered about you.
They might send you an email that appears to be from your bank, asking you to verify your account information by clicking on a link. The link, of course, leads to a fake website designed to steal your credentials. The real-world consequences of social engineering can be significant, impacting individuals and organizations alike. Consider the case of a large corporation that fell victim to a sophisticated social engineering attack. The hackers began their assault with a seemingly low-tech tactic: dumpster diving. They rummaged through the company's trash, uncovering discarded documents containing employee names, phone numbers, and even internal email addresses.
Armed with this information, they launched a targeted phishing campaign, sending emails that appeared to be from the IT department. These emails warned employees about a potential security breach and instructed them to click on a link to reset their passwords.
While technology has become a ubiquitous tool for social engineers, some attacks rely on more traditional methods of deception and manipulation. These human-based attacks often involve direct interaction with the victim, using charm, persuasion, and cunning to exploit their trust and gain access to sensitive information.
Imagine this. You're at work, rushing to a meeting, when someone stops you, claiming to be from IT. They're friendly, well-dressed, and seem to know their stuff. They mention a recent security issue and ask for your login credentials to verify your account. You're distracted, eager to be helpful, and don't want to seem difficult.
In today's digital age, we're constantly bombarded with communication from unknown sources. We're wary of suspicious emails and cautious about clicking on links from unfamiliar senders.
Phishing, or voice phishing, exploits the inherent trust we place in the spoken word. Picture this. Your phone rings, and the caller ID displays your bank's name and number. You answer, and a professional-sounding voice informs you of suspicious activity on your account. They ask you to verify your account information, including your account number, password, and social security number, to prevent unauthorized access.
While we often associate social engineering with online scams and digital deception, it's important to remember that physical security is just as vulnerable to human manipulation.
Piggybacking and tailgating are two common tactics used by social engineers to gain unauthorized access to secure areas.
Imagine this. You're entering your office building, using your keycard to unlock the door. As you hold the door open for yourself, someone right behind you, smiling politely, slips in before the door closes.
They might be holding a box, pretending to be on their phone, or simply looking lost and confused. You don't think much of it, assuming they're also an employee or have a legitimate reason to be there.
As technology advances, so too do the methods used by social engineers. Computer-based attacks leverage the anonymity and reach of the internet to deceive and manipulate victims on a massive scale.
These attacks often involve malicious software, cleverly disguised websites, and sophisticated phishing campaigns designed to steal credentials, spread malware, and compromise systems.
Imagine this. You're browsing the web when a pop-up window appears, warning you that your computer is infected with a virus. The pop-up looks official, displaying logos of well-known antivirus software companies and using alarming language to urge you to take immediate action. Phishing is perhaps the most prevalent form of computer-based social engineering. It involves sending out mass emails or text messages disguised as legitimate communications from banks, social media platforms, online retailers, or other trusted organizations.
These messages are designed to trick recipients into revealing sensitive information, such as login credentials, credit card numbers, or social security numbers.
Imagine this. You receive an email that appears to be from your bank, informing you of suspicious activity on your account. The email looks convincing, using the bank's logo and branding, and even including links to their actual website.
Concerned, you click on the provided link to verify your account information. unaware that you've been directed to a fake website designed to steal your credentials.
Phishing attacks often exploit our trust in familiar brands and our fear of negative consequences.
They might threaten to close your account, suspend your services, or report you for fraudulent activity unless you take immediate action.
The key to avoiding phishing scams is to be wary of unsolicited emails, verify the sender's address carefully, and never click on links or open attachments from unknown or suspicious sources. In the world of cybersecurity, there's a constant game of cat and mouse between those trying to protect information and those trying to steal it. As security measures evolve, so do the tactics of malicious actors.
Social engineering attacks in particular have seen a surge in the use of sophisticated tools that automate and streamline the process of deception. These tools, often readily available online, provide even novice hackers with the means to carry out large-scale attacks with alarming effectiveness.
Imagine a toolbox, but instead of hammers and screwdrivers, it's filled with digital tools designed to manipulate and exploit human vulnerabilities. These tools can range from simple scripts that automate phishing emails to complex platforms that create convincing fake websites and capture sensitive data.
Their accessibility and ease of use lower the barrier to entry for aspiring social engineers, making it easier than ever to launch convincing attacks.
One of the most concerning aspects of these tools is their ability to automate tasks that were previously time-consuming and required technical expertise. What once required hours of manual effort can now be accomplished with a few clicks, allowing attackers to target a larger number of victims and increase their chances of success.
This automation also makes it more difficult to trace attacks back to their source, as hackers can operate from anywhere in the world and hide behind layers of anonymity.
In social engineering, credibility is king. Attackers know the more legitimate their communications appear, the more likely victims are to fall for their schemes.
Tools like Zphisher create convincing fake websites, mimicking trusted brands to steal credentials.
Imagine an email from your bank urging you to update your account. It looks official but has a suspicious URL.
Clicking it leads to a fake site stealing your credentials.
For many hackers, the ultimate goal of social engineering is to gain unauthorized access to a victim's computer or network. This access allows them to steal data, install malware, or even use the compromised device to launch further attacks.
Shellfish is a tool that facilitates this type of intrusion, enabling attackers to create malicious links that, when clicked, download and install backdoor programs on the victim's device. These backdoors provide a hidden entry point for hackers, allowing them to remotely control the infected device without the user's knowledge or consent.
Imagine receiving a seemingly harmless email containing a link to a funny video or an interesting article. Intrigued, you click the link, unaware that it's been rigged with a shellfish payload. Instead of taking you to the promised content, the link triggers the download and installation of a backdoor program on your computer.
This program operates silently in the background, giving the attacker full access to your files, passwords, and even your webcam and microphone.
Shellfish makes it frighteningly easy to create these malicious links, requiring minimal technical expertise. Hackers can embed them in emails, social media posts, or even online forum comments, disguising them as legitimate content to lure unsuspecting victims.
Once the backdoor is installed, the attacker can remotely control the infected device, stealing sensitive information, monitoring online activity, or even using the device as part of a botnet to carry out further attacks.
Section 4. Nmap mapping the attack landscape. Before launching an attack, social engineers conduct reconnaissance, gathering information about network infrastructure and vulnerabilities.
Nmap is a powerful tool for this, providing a detailed map of the target's digital landscape.
It identifies active devices, open ports, and running services, aiding in pinpointing vulnerabilities.
While used by security professionals in the wrong hands, Nmap becomes a powerful weapon for reconnaissance.
Section 1. Guarding the mind, building your defenses. In the battle against social engineering, the most powerful weapon in your arsenal is your own mind.
By understanding the tactics used by these digital manipulators and adopting a vigilant mindset, you can significantly reduce your risk of falling victim to their schemes.
It's like building a fortress around your personal information, reinforcing your defenses against those who would seek to exploit your trust and good nature.
The first line of defense is awareness. Educate yourself about the different types of social engineering attacks, the methods used by hackers, and the warning signs to watch out for.
Knowledge is power, and the more you understand about the enemy, the better equipped you'll be to defend yourself.
Think of it as learning the rules of the game so you can outmaneuver your opponent.
Next, cultivate a healthy dose of skepticism, especially when it comes to unsolicited communications or requests for personal information.
Don't be afraid to question authority, verify identities, and trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is.
Remember, social engineers are masters of deception, so it's better to err on the side of caution. Section 2, Question Everything, the Power of Skepticism. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with information, it's more important than ever to develop a discerning eye and a questioning mind.
Social engineers thrive on our tendency to trust, our desire to be helpful, and our fear of negative consequences. They use these emotions against us, manipulating us into letting our guard down and making decisions that compromise our security.
The key to counteracting these tactics is skepticism. Don't accept everything you see, read, or hear at face value.
Question the motives of those who request your personal information, especially if they create a sense of urgency or pressure you to act quickly.
Remember, legitimate organizations will never ask for your passwords, credit card details, or other sensitive information via email, phone, or text message.
If you receive a suspicious email, look for red flags like misspellings, grammatical errors, generic greetings, or suspicious sender addresses.
Hover over links before clicking on them to see if the URL matches the legitimate website. Be wary of attachments, especially from unknown senders, as they could contain malware.
When it comes to phone calls, be wary of callers who pressure you for personal information, threaten legal action, or offer deals that sound too good to be true.
If you're unsure about the legitimacy of a call, hang up and contact the organization directly using their official contact information.
One of the most effective ways to protect yourself from social engineering attacks is to verify any requests for personal information, especially if they come from unknown or unexpected sources.
Don't rely solely on the information provided in the request itself, as social engineers are adept at creating convincing fakes and impersonating legitimate entities.
If you receive an email claiming to be from your bank, for example, don't click on any links or open any attachments. Instead, open a new browser window and navigate to your bank's website directly, or contact their customer service department using the phone number on the back of your card.
Verify the legitimacy of the email and inquire about the requested information.
Similarly, if someone calls claiming to be from technical support, ask for their name, department, and a callback number. Look up the organization's official contact information and verify their identity before providing any personal details or granting them remote access to your computer.
Remember, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Taking a few extra minutes to verify a request could save you from a costly and time-consuming headache down the road.
The landscape of cybersecurity threats is constantly evolving, with new social engineering tactics emerging all the time. That's why it's crucial to stay informed about the latest scams, vulnerabilities, and security best practices.
Think of it as an ongoing education, equipping you with the knowledge and skills you need to navigate the digital world safely and confidently.
One way to stay informed is to follow reputable cybersecurity blogs, websites, and social media accounts. These sources often provide timely updates on emerging threats, as well as practical tips and advice for protecting yourself online.
You can also sign up for newsletters or security alerts from your bank, email provider, and other online service providers.
Don't underestimate the importance of keeping your software up to date. Software updates often include security patches that address known vulnerabilities, making it more difficult for hackers to exploit them. Enable automatic updates whenever possible, and make it a habit to check for updates regularly.
Finally, share your knowledge with others. Talk to your family, friends, and colleagues about social engineering and the importance of online security. By spreading awareness, we can create a safer digital environment for everyone.
Remember, in the fight against social engineering, knowledge is power, and sharing that power can make a difference.
Social engineering is a constantly evolving threat. As we develop new technologies and security measures, hackers adapt, finding new ways to exploit our human vulnerabilities.
It's a game of cat and mouse with no clear winner. But just because the game is rigged doesn't mean we have to play by their rules.
The more we understand about social engineering, the better equipped we are to defend ourselves. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it could save you from a world of trouble.
Remember the 4 phases of an attack: research, target selection, relationship building, and exploitation. By understanding how these phases work, we can learn to recognize the signs of an attack and take steps to protect ourselves.
And don't underestimate the power of tools like Zphisher, Shellfish, and Nmap. These tools are readily available to anyone with an internet connection, making it easier than ever for aspiring hackers to launch sophisticated attacks.
But just as hackers use tools to exploit our vulnerabilities, we can use tools to protect ourselves. Antivirus software, firewalls, and password managers can all help to mitigate the risks posed by social engineering attacks.
Remember, staying safe online and in the physical world requires a combination of awareness, skepticism, and vigilance.
Be mindful of the information you share online, both publicly and privately. Think twice before clicking on links or opening attachments, especially from unknown senders.
Be wary of unsolicited phone calls or messages requesting personal information. And if something feels off, trust your instincts.
If an email, phone call, or text message seems suspicious, it probably is. It's always better to err on the side of caution and take a few extra minutes to verify the legitimacy of a request.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge authority, or report suspicious activity to the appropriate authorities.
The fight against social engineering is an ongoing one, but it's a fight we can win. By staying informed, staying vigilant, and using our heads, we can outsmart these digital manipulators and protect ourselves and our information from their harmful schemes.
Remember, knowledge is power, and in the world of social engineering, that power is in your hands. Stay safe out there.
And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Cyber Nomad for more cybersecurity tips and insights. Until next time, stay vigilant and stay safe.